Here's more wrestling news for April 1st, 2022. And your headlines for this afternoon include: Paul Heyman is not surprised Cody Rhodes left AEW. Paul Heyman's shocking comments on The Rock ahead of WrestleMania 38. There were some major issues. Randy Orton opens up on working with Bray Wyatt in WWE. Michael Cole provides further details about suffering 65% hearing loss due to WWE role. WWE changed Michael Cole's on-screen name. WWE working on scripted pro wrestling drama series with NBC. WWE now listing Bobby Lashley as a babyface. DDP comments on how Scott Hall's passing affected Kevin Nash. Sources close to Cody Rhodes say he could still pull out of WWE WrestleMania 38, and more. We are kicking off with Cody Rhodes, who's expected to make his return to WWE this weekend after leaving AEW in February this year. Rhodes shocked when he announced his departure from AEW, and there's been mountains of speculation as to why he and Brandi walked away from the promotion they helped found. Paul Heyman has his own theories on why the departure happened, as he told Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour. He's one of the founders of the company, a lot of it is his concept, a lot of the initial phase was on him, and Cody always had a vision to fill the boots of his father, not just in the ring, but behind the scenes. And the fact that he didn't have the level of participation in decision-making that he initially probably thought, this is speculation on my end, I never heard this from Cody, but just seeing the manner in which the creative end of that company grew, it doesn't surprise me that at some point he was going to say, not what I originally envisioned, and I want to see what life is like elsewhere. So when a founder of a company whose initial vision it was, or part of it was, leaves, that's always surprising. Knowing what I know, and that's admittedly very little of the circumstances, not so surprised. It's no secret that Rhodes was heavily involved in AEW's creative team and had lost a lot of power when Tony Khan appointed himself head of creative. As part of WWE, it's unlikely that Rhodes will have creative control, though the company is expected to treat him as a much bigger deal than he once was, but it remains to be seen if Cody's huge gambit by jumping to WWE pays off. Back to WWE, as Roman Reigns will defend his Universal Championship against WWE Champion Brock Lesnar this Sunday, but the Beast Incarnate isn't the only icon on the Tribal Chief's radar. For years, both Reigns and his cousin The Rock have teased a match, which was at one point WWE's plans for WrestleMania 38. With the rumored new plan for the relations to face off at WrestleMania 39, some have speculated whether this feud could truly begin this weekend by having a surprise appearance by the Brahma Bull. Hyping up a WrestleMania main event has been done before by The Rock, but when speaking to the MMA Hour, Paul Heyman advised against this idea. Why? Why would you do it? And then you're telling everybody that for the next 364 days, nothing matters until The Rock? While The Rock has teased facing his cousin, he's also shut down rumors of a match with the Tribal Chief, as it remains to be seen if the two ever stand across from each other in a WWE ring. Speaking of third-generation talent, few have done it better than Randy Orton, who was Bray Wyatt's final opponent in WWE. This week, Orton appeared on the Pat McAfee show to promote WrestleMania and said that while he likes Wyatt, there were some issues that persisted with his in-ring work. Orton said, "Edge made me realize I can go 45 minutes with a guy that knows what the fuck he's doing. Where are these other guys that know what the fuck they're doing? They started to come up. Bray Wyatt was there, I worked with him, it was a little odd. There were some issues where I think he wasn't able to do some stuff in the ring for a while, that got weird, but he's a hell of a talent. Riddle for the last year, he's only been wrestling for 6 years, but he gets it. He knows how to sell, and he captivates those people. He captivates me." Orton didn't go into detail as to what kind of issues came up between him and Bray, who was released from WWE last year. Since then, the two-time former Universal Champion has kept out of the public eye and has been working on some kind of film project with special effects veteran Jason Baker. Despite rumors of joining AEW, Wyatt has yet to wrestle since competing at last year's WrestleMania, and it remains to be seen when he will compete again, if that ever happens. This weekend will be the latest of many WrestleManias to feature Michael Cole, who joined the WWE, then WWF, in 1997. Cole was recommended by then on-screen interviewer Todd Pettengill, but like the in-ring performers, the veteran voice of WWE had to have his name changed, albeit for a very specific reason. Speaking on the press box to promote WrestleMania, Cole explained how his real name is Shawn Coulthard and that this proved to be a problem as Shawn Michaels was the company's top star at the time. Not wanting to have two Seans on the air at the same time, Cole explained how Michael is actually his middle name, and when combined with half of his last name, Coulthard, gives us Michael Cole. That wasn't all Cole had to say, as he also discussed his hearing loss, which was first mentioned during an appearance on the Pat McAfee podcast. Going into further detail, Cole says that he has now suffered 65% hearing loss due to his decades as a commentator and has to use special molds that go in his ears to allow him to hear what's on the headset. Calling it a hearing aid for ringside commentators, it's safe to say that his dedication to his role should be commended, no matter what some think of his actual commentary. Starting out as an interviewer, Cole has gone on to become a commentator to the lead voice of WWE and briefly a wrestler, but you'll never hear the name Sean Coulthard on the company's programming. Since forging their deal with NBC Universal, WWE has produced a ton of content for them over the years, and now a major drama series is in the works. In the vein of Stars as heels, NBCU have confirmed that a new series titled Pinned is coming and will be co-produced by WWE. Variety reports that Craig O'Neill and Tom Rinaldi will serve as executive producers of the show, as will Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn. It's unclear which platform from NBC Universal the show will air on, but this isn't the first time WWE has turned their focus on producing a drama series. In collaboration with Blumhouse TV, WWE is also working on a drama series, The United States of America vs. Vince McMahon, which will detail the chairman's fight in the 1994 steroid trial, and time will tell when both of these projects come out. At the Royal Rumble, Bobby Lashley was injured during his WWE Championship match with Brock Lesnar, and it was believed at the time that he'd miss WrestleMania. Instead, Lashley has returned just in time to face Omos at this weekend's event, but his sudden comeback isn't the only change for the Almighty. As Fightful Select has learned, Lashley is now listed as a babyface on WWE's internal roster, but there's no word on how WWE will book his manager, MVP. Lashley's match with Omos will be intriguing, as the Giant has been booked strong over the past year, but so has the Almighty. But only one can stand tall in this meeting of the behemoths at WrestleMania. This month, the wrestling world lost Scott Hall, and while the industry as a whole has been mourning the loss of the bad guy, those closest to him have taken it especially hard. Speaking in a recent interview, Diamond Dallas Page, who worked with Hall to get sober, spoke about the former Razor Ramon and explained the toll it's taken on Hall's best friend, Kevin Nash. "We took it hard, really hard, but Kev, he took it really hard. Like, I took it hard, he took it really hard, and it was tough. That last week or so was really tough." DDP added that he thinks Nash will now focus his grief on helping Hall's son Cody get back into wrestling, as the second-generation star, who has worked with New Japan and Noah in the past, has been on hiatus since 2020. DDP said that he has already been speaking with Cody about it, and that they had both Cody's sister and Scott's brother Jeff over for dinner recently, and is confident that there's a future for Cody Hall in the ring. Page added, "He's been to Japan, he's been to the UK, he just needs a break. I think working independents right now, the independent world out there, they draw. And I think Cody Hall, as a name, is a draw to see what he can do, So I think the time, and we talked about this, and Kevin is like I just said, it's still really, really hard on him, so anything he can do to help out Cody, I think he'll do. It's just the friend Kevin Nash is." Sadly, Cody Hall will not be able to share the ring with his Hall of Fame father, but that doesn't mean his career in the ring has to come to an end. And we're ending like we started with Cody Rhodes, who may be expected to make his massive return to WWE this weekend, but like all events, the card of WrestleMania is subject to change. To be fair, WWE has never publicly confirmed that Rhodes will be returning at the most stupendous two-night show of the year, and there are some who believe it isn't too late for Cody to change his mind. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer said that while he doesn't expect Cody to back out at this point, there are some very close to the former TNT champion who think he could still refuse to show. WWE may not have confirmed Rhodes for the show, but with the amount of excitement among fans, anyone other than the former AEW Executive Vice President would be a PR disaster. With Shane McMahon set to be in Arlington this weekend, WWE could go with the originally planned Rollins-Shane match, but this is the last thing WWE wants to happen at WrestleMania. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.